young years at school, through to his mid-30s, was always a high achiever. He thrived at school, went from postboy, pizza cook, head chef at the Harlem pub, then making his way up the real estate ladder to become one of the leading sales executives for one of Australia's most exclusive and diversified property groups called Australand. Still to this day, I have many people recognise my surname or after I mention him, and they say, I remember Emmanuel. He was a really lovely guy. He sold us our house or land. Please tell him we say hi, which always makes me smile. I always looked up to him. I still do. Trying to find the right way to tell someone he's passed away isn't easy. Then there's the questions, how and why. Everybody knows somebody like my brother. That person, the one who is always on top of life in every way. You may even envy this person because they seem always happy and successful in life. Always giving to their friends and family, the inspiring kind, that you sometimes wish you could be more like. That was my late brother Emmanuel. He was that kind of guy. You know, that person who walks into a room and you instantly notice them? He had that special presence about him that would find you and him having a long, great chat and exchanging numbers by the end of the night with plans to catch up, both of us feeling as if we had known each other forever. All I can say when asked how and why is a simplified version, which is he suffered depression for a very long time, even though he is the last person you would imagine could become that depressed. And they realised in that sentence alone that he'd taken his own life. Of course, this shocks anyone who knew or had met him. His successful and seemingly happy life was in fact often hampered with by pain. Being a child with severe scoliosis, which led through to adulthood, created not just physical but emotional pain. Being an educated person made the wise choice of eating well, exercising, and using marijuana as his antidepressant and painkiller, not the prescribed kind, which have side effects, which would affect him personally and professionally. The kind you can't just quit cold turkey. As we know, these prescribed drugs are fed and have many side effects and are extremely addictive. Marijuana, however, will not give you that awful come-down effect like drugs do and is not addictive. I myself have used marijuana as a painkiller, antidepressant, and of recent, also for panic attacks. I've suffered from an early age with a severe endometriosis. I used marijuana instead of strong addictive drugs as a painkiller while I had it for the depression of not being able to work or function with chronic pain. I also couldn't even sleep from the pain. After the surgery to have it removed, it was my painkiller of choice. I did not curl up into a ball in hospital because I had no weed to smoke. It is not addictive. A few years later, at 7 months pregnant, I was involved in a major car accident where my car ended up under a semi-trailer. Thankfully, my beautiful daughter is still with us today and happy. Pumped full of morphine, loss of memory, making me sweaty. I felt like a druggie for the first time in my life in hospital without being desperate for marijuana, but not enjoying their medicines. But they insisted and insisted, didn't they? When my daughter became only 8 months old, my brother committed suicide. That was 3 years ago today, making today an exceptionally significant day for me. To say, look here, all you small, closed-minded people. My brother was extremely successful and kind, and so were many other people just like him who use marijuana as a medicine. His passing has turned my world around. Between caring for my 8-month-old, trying to come to grips with his death wasn't easy and still is not. And finding out that he had such depression that he started trying a prescribed antidepressant which causes some to commit suicide as stated in the enclosed leaflet that most don't read. Also bloody hurt. I always tried to eat well, exercise an hour every morning while dealing with his funeral, my baby, his will, and items purchased on an overseas trip. I thought I was doing okay. I finally cracked and had a nervous breakdown, ended up in hospital again, feeling as if I was having a heart attack. I was sent home later that night with a prescription for antidepressants and anxiety pills. Of course, silly me started to take them in desperation. Now I'm stuck on these pills till they say it's safe to start weaning me off. They affect me in so many ways. The ringing in my ears, lack of motivation and loss of memory aren't funny to me. In fact, sounds like the stereotype they like to give people like me and you and my late brother because we prefer a natural medicine. Julia Gillard, it's inhumane to feed us these poisons while we feed money into the big pharmaceutical companies who are keeping a natural remedy from us. Not just for the medical benefits are spoken about, but for many other chronic diseases and medical problems, we are patients, not criminals. My late brother was a user, a successful man, as am I a user, and it has never affected our lives in a negative way. We have done the research for you, Julia. If you truly give a damn about Australians, as you say, listen to us. Thank you.
Wow! Wow! Thank you! Woo!
Stephanie Valla, ladies and gentlemen. It's a huge amount of bravery taken there to get in front of you guys and say something from the heart.